So lovely to see you. Tonight's class, I'm going to dedicate it to, I know that most of you are aware that my uncle Mike died last week, and he was a very beautiful, lovely, funny, hilarious, vivacious character who was only in his 50s, but he was also a dear friend of mine, and he would not want anyone to feel like sad. He would have been, his nickname was Inappropriate Uncle Mike. So this is about feeling not inappropriate, but about being yourself. He was one of the most authentic humans ever. So this is a celebration. It's not about being sad, but tonight I want to dedicate the energy of the practice to him. And to you guys, because thank you so much for coming out. If it wasn't for you, I wouldn't be where I am. So I'm so grateful for you to be here too. So I'm going to do a quick card for us all, see what the universe is telling us. Oh, here we go. This is a nice one. So good things will happen when you give yourself some of the love that you give others. Okay, which is a really lovely one for us all, I think. So I'm going to quickly go over what we're going to do tonight, and then I'm going to just a little general, because I'm studying really a lot of astrology, and I think it all ties in. Vedic astrology it is part of, because the Vedas are part of yoga, and the more I'm studying astrology, the more it really ties in with your practice and the energies of what's going on. And as I tell you what's meant to be happening this week coming, or this next few days, or the next coming weeks, it might make sense to you, or it might make you understand others better as well. You know, today it was really exacerbated, the energy, everything that I tried to get electricity, gas, all these different things in my property. It took me all day, but then there was old people and young girls all fighting with each other, being abusive to the people in the shop. It was a really strange energy today, and it was again learning to step out of your own way, not take things personally, and see things for what they are, and know that these people were acting out of fear. And there's a lot of people acting out of fear just now, because there is big changes coming. So I thought tonight's class, I've never taught it in this way. I decided to, it was actually my boyfriend that said you should call it a YINDALINI class. So we're going to have a YINDALINI class. I've never called it that before. You'd be like, what the hell is she on about? There's a lot of people wanting to do the rights and the wrong. This is right, this is wrong, you're wrong, I'm right, and blaming and shaming. We don't need any of that. Yoga is beautiful, and yoga is where we're at. It's about self-realization. And as long as you know where you're taking it, and as long as you know what you're doing with the energy, it's okay. I'm not completely bastardizing yoga here. We're going to do a kundalini class for stress and the adrenals, because I think there's a lot of people feeling that way, working in that way, which is, so the kundalini side of things lifts the vibrational frequency, and it's fun. I haven't done this practice for such a long time. I was like, I want to share this with you. So we'll do that little set, and then we're going to move into a yin practice, and a yin for hips, because again, both of these are really related to the Svadhisthana chakra, your second chakra, which is about emotions, but it's also about your joy in life, your creativity, your sexuality, your one-to-one relationships. So it's a really, really, it's a strong vibrational frequency just now. So it's about really bringing it in and being where you're at. So the last time we did a practice together, we incorporated more of like a tantric hatha yoga with restorative. We did restorative at the end. And so many people associate yin and restorative as the same thing. So restorative is active relaxation. Yin is not. You do have to relax, but you have to be mindful. Yin is more about working with the connective tissue. When we're working with the hatha side of things, we're working with strengthening and stretching the muscles. Tonight, we're going to be working with connective tissue, which means it goes in a bit deeper. Okay. And something that Bernie Clark, who's a famous Yin Yoga teacher, said that if we live in harmony with the way, live in harmony with the way, and you will benefit. Struggle against the way things are, and you will suffer. And so the way things are just now, we just have to live in harmony with the way things are right now. And I thought that was really relevant to a yin practice. So there's a few little pointers for your yin practice. It's about relaxing, so we don't have to flex the toes towards us. I'm going to talk you through it anyway. So it's about consciously relaxing the muscles. Okay, so it goes deep into your connective tissue, so it's stressing the joints. With yin, we don't need to use props. We rely on gravity and we let go. With restorative, we're relaxing so much that we bring the props to us. Here we don't have props. We're bringing ourselves to the mat. But if it's painful, use props. There's no rules here in that sense. Don't feel like, oh, I shouldn't use a prop because those will sound so. If you feel pain, you need to pull away. You might feel uncomfortable, but this is where we learn to find comfort in our discomfort. Okay, so we learn to access through slowness and steadiness, as opposed to rhythm and repetition, where we would flow our practice. Okay, so the time that we spent in the yin poses are a little bit longer than we normally would. So longer than 1 minute, but less than 20. You're not going to be staying in 20 minutes. We're going to do a short yin. Okay, with restorative, you really stay for a long time. We want to find our edge, right? Everyone's got an edge. And it's the same with our mind and our emotions, but we're doing it with our bodies here, which will allow us to reach our edge with our emotions and things like that, and we come off the mat. But be aware that everyone's edge is different, and our edge is different on different days. If you're feeling emotional, your hips are going to be tighter. Okay, and you're going to have a different edge for every pose as well. It depends where you're at. Some people have very open hips. You'll be in your pose that's different from others. So don't worry about what anyone else is doing. So find this mindful edge, and once you found your edge, you commit to stillness. So sometimes when I teach, and we go, oh, flow it and move. Once you've committed to your edge, you commit to stillness, and that's quite tricky. Okay, so when we let go, we want to let go of wanting to be better, of wanting to be somewhere else, of planning tomorrow. We want to let go of our inner dialogue. We want to let go of the tension around the sensations. We want to let go of forcing. We want to let go of ambition and aggression. We want to let go of contrasting and comparing. So by doing that, we loosen the rigid views that are enemies of intimacy. You can tell I wrote lots of notes for tonight. And it enables us to be here as we are in an experience of authenticity. It's what I'm all about, being your authentic self. So where there's nothing to do, nowhere to go, and nothing to get, we're just here. And we're accepting where we're at. Okay, so it allows us to practice loving kindness and patience. Okay, so then you won't get angry at supermarkets like some people did today. Okay, so that's where we're at with that. So I'm going to quickly go over and let you know some of the. Let's see, how do I get this? I'm going to quickly go over the planetary alignments, just in case that it's relevant to you. I don't want to gibber on too much, because I'm aware some of you are here just to do your practice, and I do speak a lot, so apologies for that. That's my Gemini rising. Okay, so on February the 17th, which is today, Saturn squares Uranus. I'm saying it in a way that doesn't sound like Uranus there. Okay, so this is the first one. There's going to be three Saturn-Uranus squares. And between now and December the 21st, the last one is going to be on Christmas Eve. So this is the culmination of it all. So it's difficult, but these alignments, they're a collision between the old and the new. So this is when there's the times when change becomes unavoidable. So that's where you're sensing the fear in the air. So this is the most important transit of 2021. And it happened, the first one happened today. So if you're feeling that kind of edgy way, it's okay. We're all there. Okay. So it's not a transit that comes and goes. So this is a transit that's going to influence every single day. So it started today. So it's really about, I'm not going to read all this. I can if anyone wants me to forward this to you, I can. So does this mean that the world's going to turn upside down today? No, it's not really. But it's going to be, it's about slow, it's a slow moving planetary transit. But this is a massive rewiring that's going on. And it's rewiring in the background. So anyone who's thinking, what's going on? They're feeling a bit shaky because there's changes, and it's because there's so many downloads coming. So in February, June, and December, these themes will become more clear. Okay, so keep in mind that this is an ongoing process. So this is why this kind of yin practice is a great way of just letting go and being okay, feeling comfortable in the discomfort. Okay, so the path to freedom and enlightenment goes through Saturn. Saturn's all about structure. So, so this is just, it's like Glinda the Good Witch said. Yeah, I'm quite into my Wizard of Oz. You always had the power, my dear. You just had to learn it for yourself. Okay, there's no shortcuts. We've just got to do the work. Okay, so and this is why, this is your vibe attracts your tribe. This is why you guys we're all here together, and we're willing to do the work. Okay, so I'm not going to read too much, but it's just I thought there's loads to it, but I just thought it might be relevant to what's going on for everyone just now. Huge changes, and everyone's going, where do I need to be, and what do I need to do? You don't need to do anything right now. You just need to put the work in and be okay with where you're at, and just start to set the foundations for where you want to be or where you need to be. And it's almost like coming away from the old and the new are kind of colliding a little bit. Okay, that's why I thought kundalini, yin. Okay, so let's get into our yin. Let's just go for it now. It's time to get practicing. So let's start with the stress set for our adrenals and kidneys. So we're going to come into a cross-legged position, and then you're going to take your hands out to here, like so. Your palms are facing this way, and we're coming into lotus mudra like that. So you're breathing in, breathing out. So working with the breath. Close your eyes if you want to. Do you hear my cat sneezing? So really, we're just working with this energy. Just trying to raise our vibrational frequency and just move any tension out of our body. And then we're going to move into our yin practice. Relax your jaw and your shoulders. Working with the breath. And when you're doing some of these things, if your arms are aching, it's sometimes a sign that there's toxins in the body. But we all have toxins in the body. It's because we're human beings, unless you're very, very pure and sattvic, which we aspire to be. So from here, then you're going to interlace your pinkies, and your thumbs are facing upwards. Take your hands to your heart center, and it's as if you're trying to pull the pinkies away from you. The thumbs are facing up, yeah? And then closing your eyes, and we're going to work with breath of fire here. Inhale. Hold the breath, engage root lock. So pulling in the pelvic floor muscles and the lower abdominal muscles. Bring your awareness to the eyebrow center. Exhale to release, place your hands down. And then we're doing something similar to the breath of fire, but we're working with cannon breath. So you're placing your mouth in an O shape, and we're doing it with our breath, with our mouths this time. And as you breathe out, you're breathing out through the mouth, drawing the belly in. So it's like this. So really work with the belly. Okay, here we go. Breathe in. Again, hold the breath, engage your lock, bring the awareness to the eyebrow center. Exhale to release. Okay, so then you're taking your left hand, the back of the left hand is going to go onto the kidney, and the right hand's coming up here. So when I write notes for this, I write Hitler move, which is really inappropriate, but it's sometimes easier to write. So you don't have to do both sides, it's Kundalini here. And all you're doing here, we're working with a very appropriate mantra for the northeast of Scotland. And we're working with the mantra Har. Okay, here we go. Har, 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 har. Breathe in. Breathe out to release. Feel the energy. Do you feel the warmth in the Manipura chakra, your personal power, your self-esteem? Do you feel the lift already? Have you scared the members of your family and your animals? My cats have all scarpered. Okay, so this next part, you can place your legs into lotus pose. I'm not going to because I can't. So there we go. And so you're placing your hands down, and with the breath, you're going to try and lift your bottom, try and lift the whole body off the ground. And if you can't, again, you're just moving you're just going to move your bottom like this. So it's like this with the breath. Keep going. So this is really good for your lymphatic system, and it's also got that same energetic, the way it works your body is that same way that if you were bouncing around on a trampoline, which is really good for your mental health, not so good for your pelvic floor if you've had children and you're a bit older like myself. Okay, the next part to this, you get your left hand a couple of inches in front of your belly button. So your belly button, your hand isn't touching the belly button. And then your right palm is going to press against your left wrist, and they're pressing against each other really hard, as if you're really like trying to squash something in between your palm and your wrist. Look down and deep breath. So this is very, very cleansing. Some of you might be feeling the energetic flow here. Something's happening in your body. And if you don't, that's okay too. Releasing, and shake your hands. And then take your legs out in front of you. One of my favorite mudras, especially, it makes you feel really cheery, is this one. So from here, with the breath, you're moving backwards and forwards. If you're rowing with your thumbs. And with Kundalini Yoga, it's not so much about working with Hatha Yoga. You're breathing out to come forward. You're breathing in to go back. It's very structured. With here, I really want you to, because we're breaking the rules a little bit. We're moving with our bodies here right now. So move with the breath. What feels right for you? Make sure you're not holding tension, the jaw or shoulders, and just flow with it. And you don't have to have straight legs. Bend your knees if you need to. We're just moving energy through our bodies right now. Okay, and then from here, this is a great one for balancing the second chakra, lying on your back into Setu-Bandhasana, arms down by your side. And with the breath, you're doing this quite dynamically. Breathe in, hips up, breathe out, bring it back down. Keep going. And then I'm going to move around this way so you can see me. So you're going to move your legs like pistons now. So take your legs out in front of you and your feet are flexed. You can place your hands underneath your bottom, palms facing down to protect your lower back if you like. And then from here, you're going to, with the breath, move your legs like pistons as opposed to a cycling movement. And then lying down into a little mini Shavasana to allow that energy to calibrate. Closing your eyes. Just begin to feel the prana flow through your body. Draw your knees into your belly. And then you're going to rock backwards and forwards, which is a fear-releasing pose. It also kind of stimulates your spine here. And once you're up, you're coming onto your hands and knees. And we're doing this dynamically, so make sure there's enough room behind you so you don't stub your toe. As you exhale, bring your right knee towards the chin. Inhale to kick it back. Exhale, inhale. And then swapping legs, let's do the other side. Sitting back in your heels, palms together, thumbs facing upwards. This is a great one for your kidneys. So as you inhale, you're taking your chin over your thumbs, keeping your head facing slightly forward, not too much. You want to keep a bit of smoothness against your cervical spine. So you're inhaling forwards and exhaling to come back. It's all you're doing, slowly and mindfully. Okay, coming onto your knees, but if your knees or ankles shout at you, stay cross-legged. You can come into cross-legged position. Your mudra here is going to be this, Charlie's Angels. There you go. So arms up here. And this mantra, this one here can be done first thing in the morning if you need a little bit of a boost. You can actually do this as a sadhana in itself. So as you say, sat, draw your belly in, nam to release. So sat nam means truth is my name or truth is my identity. So this is really coming into your own authenticity here. Here we go. Sat nam, 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 sat nam. Then from here, interlace your fingers, take your palms face upwards, and then begin breath of fire again. Inhale, hold the breath, engage your lock, close your eyes and look as if look through the top of your head, your eyes closed. Exhaling to release. Coming into cross-legged position. And then from here, inhale one shoulder up, exhale, bring it down, inhale the other one, okay? And then slowly and carefully rolling your head around, just breathing into any tension, no judgment, just breathe into where you are today. Keeping the jaw nice and relaxed, trying to keep the length in the spine so you're not flopping down, drawing your belly button in a little bit, and then round the other way. Your head back to center. Take your hands in the front of the shin. It doesn't matter which shin it is. And then exhaling to curve your spine. Tuck the chin into Jalandhar Bandha. Inhale to come forwards to open up in the throat and the heart. And the last part of this set, we're just going to do a little bit of Sufi grinding, just stimulating our internal organs before we move on to the next part of our practice. And we'll round the other way. Working with your breath, mindful movements. And then coming into a cross-legged position. Palms facing upwards on your knees to receive. Just close your eyes, bringing your awareness to your eyebrow center and feeling the pulse of the movement between the eyebrow and the midbrain with your breath. An effortless movement, just awareness, back and forth with the breath. Less of a cerebral trying to do it. It's less of a conscious thing. Just bringing the awareness there, bringing the prana up to this area, awakening our inner teacher, Vijnanamaya Kosha. Just connecting in with yourself. Okay, from here we're going to move into our the second part of our practice, the yin part. So we're moving into a wide-legged child's pose. So obviously your legs are wide, and you're just taking your arms out in front of you, resting your forehead down, and just connecting into your breath. So there's no breath control here in Yin Yoga. You're really just being mindful of your breath. So it's almost like you're letting go of that control too. We don't need to control anything in this practice. So feeling the connection of your third eye to the earth here. This is also stimulating your oculocardiac nerve, which is connecting into your vagus nerve, which is your mental health, and starting to work the parasympathetic nervous system. So we're moving into the soothing part of our practice, which is what you're all needing. Okay. So there'll be times when I go a little bit silent, so don't worry, you've not lost the connection of the Wi-Fi. It's just to allow you to have that time. You have 1 more minute in that pose. And Amy, I can see your dog's having a great time. Loving the yoga. So commit to your stillness and just let go. There's nowhere you need to be, nothing you need to do. You're exactly where you're supposed to be. Placing your hands either side of your head and gently pushing yourself up. So the yin poses tonight are not going to be the usual longer lengths than I usually would teach. It's shorter ones because we're doing a kind of shorter, it's a YINDALINI class. So take your legs out in front of you. Okay, and we're going to do shoelace pose. So this is it's called the shoelace. And Yin, you're going to take your right leg and take it over. So you can either just have your right leg over here like that, or you can cross it over almost as if you're coming into Gomukhasana. And because this is Yin, you don't have to have your foot flexed. Let go. So you can either be here, be where you're at, or allow yourself to come forward. And again, this is because this is not Hatha Yoga. This is where you're not having to keep a long extension on the spine. You're allowing yourself to let go, but don't allow your head to flop too much because your head's very, very heavy. So keep a slight tuck in the chin, keep a slight Jalandhar Bandha, just to so there's less, there's less stress on your cervical spine, I would say. A lot of Yin instructors tell you to just completely let go. But someone who's broken their neck before, I think that anyone, even if you haven't broken your neck, bringing some awareness into the cervical spine is really important. And then also keeping that slight tuck in Jalandhar Bandha as well will stop the prana from shooting up Sushumna, your spine, and coming right up into the brain and giving you an agitated mind. So commit to your stillness, and I'm going to give you 1 more minute here. You can let go any habitual Ujjayi breath as well. For some of us vinyasa practitioners, that was something that I found difficult when I first started practicing Yin. I still connected into my Ujjayi breath. Just coming into just a normal breath, or you can even, some belly breathing, be aware of your abdomen. Gently coming back up. From here, we're going to take this, so be aware of the energy flow, but from here we're going to move into a Swan Pose. So for Hatha yogis, we call this the pigeon, Ekapada Raja Kapotanasana. But you're going to take this right knee back now. So gently taking this knee back, bending the left knee. And again, because we're in yin here, this is not about the shape. You don't have to, everyone's shape is going to be different. So it's not so much about the alignment. It's finding where you're at. So if you find it's easier and less pressure on the knee, you can take your ankle in towards your pelvic area. Okay? So from here, you're going to come forwards into sleeping swan. So if it feels comfortable, you can move forwards and come into sleeping swan. And some of you might feel more comfortable still sitting up. So find your edge. So it might be uncomfortable. You feel the strain on your joints, the stress on your joints. But if there is pain, it's going to be localized. You need to move. So don't breathe into the pain. You need to move if it's painful. But if it's uncomfortable, commit to stillness and find comfort in your discomfort. Okay, so we're going to stay here for another 2 minutes. Let go of any tension you're holding on to in the body. Let go of monkey mind. Let go of trying to be where you're at, be further. Just be okay with where you are tonight. It's fine. And then slowly and carefully bring yourself back up. And gently take your legs out in front of you, knees slightly bent. We can windscreen wipe our legs a little bit here. And then from here, take your legs out in front of you again. Just listening to your body. And then taking this left knee over, the shoelace pose. So you don't have to flex that foot. You can have your leg just here, or almost like a Gomukhasana leg. And then either you can be okay where you're at here, or you're going to come forwards. And it's okay to have the spine slightly rounded, but just don't flop your head down. So keep a slight tuck in the chin. Make sure the breath is smooth, but you're not controlling the breath. Just commit to your stillness, find your edge, and then be okay where you're at. It's okay, I'm still here. Okay, and then when you're ready, Gently and carefully coming back up. You feel the vibration of your body. And then this bent left leg is going to go back. We're moving into Swan Pose. It's known as the swan in Yin, the pigeon, other lineages. So bending that right knee, finding your edge, finding your shape. So remember, I do teach that it's about function as opposed to form anyway. So it's not about how wonderful you look on your mat, even though you all look wonderful, let's see. So, and then coming into where you're at. So you're going to come forwards. You can even, I like to stack my hands in front of me and stack and rest my forehead on my stacked hands. Again, that's stimulating the vagus nerve as well. So it's another great way of really just checking, getting right into your parasympathetic nervous system. And it's like really helping you to nurture yourself and your body. Be mindful of your breath. Any rough edges of your exhale, just smooth them out. Just let your joints feel more juicy. I don't know about you guys, but even though I've got my practices in past few weeks, it might be because I've been renovating a house, but the past few weeks, I've had awful achy joints, and I don't know if this is something going on right now for everyone. We somatically hold things in our body. It might be partly to do with the collective consciousness. Just got a little bit more time here. And then gently coming up and moving into tabletop. Just checking in with yourself, listening to your hips speaking to you. It's a nice feeling. And from here, you can wag your tails. You can even look at each side. So imagine you've got a nice bushy tail. Just show off your bushy tail. It's a nice feeling. It's not often you get to do this. Okay, and then gently come down onto your bellies. We're moving into Sphinx Pose. So you're just coming onto your elbows. So for your sacrum, what feels comfortable for you? So this is like, we're listening to your body and giving your body what it needs. So do you want to have, so it's not about, the alignment here. This is about, do you want to have your legs a bit more slightly apart or together? Take your feet where your legs, where you feel more comfortable here. So relax your shoulders, relax your bottom, your jaw, and again, commit to stillness. This is where it gets tricky. This is where Yin is tricky. I like to move. I'm very Vata. And when I first started practicing Yin, it was really difficult. If you've got busy head, it's difficult when you first start practicing Yin. I'm going to give you a minute of silence. And you have the choice to either stay where you're at, or we can move into the seal pose. So this is just taking yourself a little bit higher. And again, what does your body need? You can have your hands, your arms wide apart or closer together. Where's your edge? Find your edge. So it shouldn't be too much. This is giving there is you're stressing the area around your lumbar spine. So you don't want too much stress there. But find your edge and then commit to stillness. Make sure you're not holding tension anywhere. And slowly coming down, you can stack your hands in front of you, rest your forehead down, and listen to the rebound in your body. The lovely warmth in the base of your spine, just awakening that lower part of your body where our emotions reside. And then gently pushing yourself up and coming into Balasana, Child's Pose. So taking your arms down by your side this time and rest your forehead down. And breathe into your belly. So abdominal breathing has been scientifically proven to help with stress relief. So really feel your belly rising and falling with the breath. So you're not controlling the breath. You're just bringing your awareness there. With your hands at either side of your head, coming up to seated position, to Thunderbolt Pose. So when your heels, as long as your knees and ankles aren't screaming at you, so this your heels into your bottom here is stimulating various meridian points. It's really good for a sluggish system. Okay, just feel the rebound, and then from here, taking your right foot forward. This is called the dragon pose. So we sometimes call it the crescent moon, but you're taking your hands, I'll go this way so you can see. You're taking your hands either side here, and we're just going to, so keep your chin slightly tucked in, and we're just breathing in. So again, find your edge and then commit to your stillness. So it's where you're at today. And this is opening up the psoas muscle. Your psoas muscle is known as the muscle of the soul. So we're soothing our souls a little bit. And if you like, you can place your right hand to the outside edge of the right foot and circling with the breath. So this is like, not so much yin, but this is just us wanting to open up here. With the breath, just gently and slowly. Releasing. And slowly coming back, but this time you're going to sit, as long as your knees allow it, into Virasana or saddle pose. It depends which lineage you're coming through. So you're trying to get both legs behind. It's not cheating if you want to put blocks or cushions underneath your bottom. I don't want anyone's knees going, ah. So, and if that's still not good for you, modify, okay? About being okay where you are. And then coming up and then taking that left foot forward. So we're coming into dragon pose. We're not staying in dragging too long here. So hands at either side, find your edge, commit to your stillness. And then you can either stay there if you want, place your left hand to the outside edge of the left foot, and with the breath, just depends on what you want to do, how you feel. I'm feeling like, because I've been living in a little flat, I'm feeling like it's like the lack of natural daylight. There's that kind of feeling of oppression and you want to break free. So we're moving our bodies in that way. And I feel like even if you're living in a big place with lots of natural light, I think all of us as humanity is feeling slightly oppressed right now. So just a way of expressing a little bit of freedom within our bodies. We always have our bodies. From here, coming back again into Virasana, if that works for you, or saddle. Just find where you want to, where you feel comfortable with. Committing to your stillness. Finding solace in the silence. From here, we're just going to come into one little downward facing dog, I think. We've not done a dog all evening. So just moving into down dog. Down dog doesn't really appear that much in Kundalini unless you're doing some elephant walking. A lot of you guys have done elephant walking with me. It doesn't appear too much in Yin either. It's a nice way to check in with yourself. Listen to your body. And then from here, we're going to move onto our backs. You're going to draw your knees into your belly for Apanasana, wind release pose. And then straighten out that left leg. Keep the right knee bent. Place your left hand onto the right knee. Open your right arm like a wing. And then drop that right leg to the left. Looking along the right arm. And again, don't worry about your shape. Don't worry about the hips or the shoulders raising off the ground. Just find your edge. Commit to stillness. Mindful breathing. Gently coming back up. Draw both knees in. Yourself another wee hug. And then straighten out the right leg. Place the right hand onto the left knee. Open up your left arm like a wing. Dropping that left knee down. Find your edge. Being fine with your shape. Committing to stillness. Coming back to center, drawing both knees up towards you. And then again, find what feels right for you with your happy baby. You're either holding on to the outside edge of your feet or the inside. What does your body need tonight? Feel your sacrum connecting into the earth. It's a great one to do just before Shavasana to stop any spasming. Then releasing, stretching out your legs, coming into your well-deserved Shavasana. And I've got a lovely wee Shavasana for you all tonight. This Shavasana tonight is for, it's about being with not knowing. It's about the inevitability, easy for me to say, of change and becoming the seed at the heart of the fruit. I think that being with not knowing is really relevant right now. So coming into a golden thread breath, so breathing in through your nose and out through your mouth with a, imagine that you're breathing out a golden thread. And if you like, you can place your feet together in Baddha-Konasana, Supta Baddha-Konasana, for the rest of your Shavasana tonight, as we did in hip opening practice anyway. And this is to resemble us resting in the shape of an open flower. You're going to send consciousness now into your womb. And find that you are lying in the center of a dark red soft place. It is fragrant, and you're a tiny seed in the middle of a huge cosmic rose. It is huge, its scent is heavenly, and its petals are protecting you, as if you were lying in the center of a circular palace whose walls are made from the living petals of the rose. The touch of the petals on your skin is soft like silk. And gently, as if blown away by a warm breeze, each petal of the rose separates from the stem and floats away in the breeze and disappears. Watch as slowly one petal after another does this. And it takes a long time before you realize what is happening, because the rose is so luscious and with so many petals that the outer ones have long since gone before you become aware that they're falling away. So see yourself like a tiny seed child woman resting with your open eyes in the center of this womb rose chamber, and become aware as the outer petals fall away, that eventually they will all be gone and the red rose room will disappear. The quality of feeling is perfectly serene, utterly beautiful and faintly curious. Watch the petals blow away and begin now to marvel at the beauty of each one. Give each one your full focus of attention as they detach from the central stem and float away. Soon there are only a few remaining. And now the real beauty of the vision intensifies. Become aware that a gorgeous golden light is bathing you. Before it has been shining through the red petaled walls, but now it is direct and strong.
It shines on you as you rest in the center of the rose room that is now an open platform, totally bathed in this powerful light. And as the last petal blows away, realize that you've magically become entirely naked, lying in open view in the golden light. It illuminates you, and as it does, it awakens within you a radiant light that shines from within your heart. Rest in this illumined nature and clearly seeing your own self, radiant at the center of the rose, like the seed that remains to carry the essence of the flower itself when the rose has finished blooming. Let yourself receive the kindness of your gaze and feel that you have become the seed in the heart of the flower, seeding vision and wisdom to grow the next generation. Have a sense of real connection to this powerful image, tender and very potent. So carry these blessings and the wisdom of the vision of yourself at the center of the rose out into your daily life, where it continues to nourish and reassure your spirit. Start to be aware of where your body's lying on the floor. You can begin to wiggle your fingers and your toes, stretching your arms over your head away from your body. Stretch your feet away from your body. And pull your knees in, give yourselves a wee hug and roll from side to side to loosen off your sacrum. Your hips will be feeling all juicy after this evening. And then rolling over onto your right side into recovery position, or even just give yourself a hug. Cuddle yourself. And then gently pushing yourselves up to seated position, hands in Anjali Mudra, thanking your inner teacher. Your hands back into your center, and let's finish with an Om. Okay, here we go. Namaste. Thank you for practicing yoga with me tonight, our YINDALINI class. I'm going to switch off the record.